I want to talk about some arrows that I've gotten from Bishop Archery. They're Mammoth Arrows, and are these huge arrows over here that you see. Just to give you an idea of how they compare to normal arrows. These are the arrows I typically use for my hunts. I'm looking forward to really trying out these Mammoth Arrows. I'm really wishing I had these Mammoth Arrows when I was in Africa, particularly when I hunted some really large game over there. I hunted elands and long-necked animals, so I'll just say it that way. If you want to know more about it, I really encourage you to go to the Paul Korn Bow Hunting channel, and you'll get to see my African hunts from 2018. What you'll see with these Mammoth Arrows, though, is just how heavy, and they're set up to be the ultimate in deep penetration. Here you can see we have 32% front of center with 125 spine, so that's an incredibly stiff spine, and we're looking at a 1245 grain arrow, so that is amazing, and it keeps getting better from there, or a lot bigger from there. Here we have a 1396 grain arrow, and we're looking at 150 grain spine again, and 30% front of center. And then the final arrow, we have a 1583 grain arrow, 50 spine, so it's really stiff, and 25% front of center. And so you can look down here and you can see how nice and stiff the arrows are, how they're nice and heavy at the front. There's a metal insert up here, and then look how nicely machined these field points are. I just love to see what or grab some of those heavy broadheads. These are obviously got to be 300 to 600 grains. I haven't really weighed them, but they're just huge when it comes to field points. And I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up so you can see the nice, beautiful wraps on these. They're premium arrows by every meaning of that word. And when I hunted in Africa, I think those would have been great for drafts and things of that nature, to be honest with you. And if you want to see that, like I said, go to the Paul Korn Bow Hunting channel. What I actually used in Africa was FMJs, which are around 600 grains, so they're pretty puny and actually were pretty borderline for hunting some of the animals that I did hunt. They do work well for me, minus one issue that I have with them, and that is I constantly lose veins on FMJs. But otherwise, for the most part, FMJs usually work out pretty well for me. And I typically use either Rages, Rocket Steelheads, or in the case of the eland that I hunted, I used affixed blades and for the draft. And again, those are on Paul Korn's Bow Hunting channel if you'd like to see them, as I mentioned a couple times. What I typically use for deer hunting are my Carbon Express Reds, and a lot of that has to do, Maxima Reds, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's just what is most available to my small archery shop in town anyway that I go to, among other archery shops. I've also really enjoyed the RZs and so forth, but they are starting to run a little bit light if you're talking about some heavy animals like some really big pigs and so forth. These are kind of a happy medium, but in general I really like these heavy arrows. But I think I'd like to explore some other arrows down the road. And so you're going to start seeing some of these in my bow reviews coming up soon. And just wanted to give you a heads up on some massive premium arrows from Bishop Archery. Arrows that I wish I had with me when I was in Africa this summer, 2018. But you know, 2022 is probably the next time I'll get to go to Africa, and I hope to have these arrows with me. Anyway, that's a preview for what's coming up in future reviews. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.